Today I'm going to paint a leaf with water drops. Hi friends, I'm Olga Koelsch, watercolor artist, teacher and a book author. Welcome to my studio. Of course you can paint any leaf and then place water drops on it. I'm not concentrating much on the leaf today, mostly on the water drops. Therefore I just use my sap green paint, just with a bit of phthalo green, and then I paint the veins, just with the tip of the brush. A little bit larger outside and a little bit close to the end of the leaf. And then I load my brush and I create the leaf. So I paint brush strokes, one next to another, creating this multi-star looking leaf. They gather a lot of water drops. If you had them in your area, you probably notice how beautiful they look when they gather water drops after the rain. So right now I'm just creating a leaf shape without big planning, without big overthinking. You can use any leaf you like to try that out. Those leaves, they have a little bit of edgy zigzag edges. So to paint that, you can attach your brush strokes one to another, like this. And the last one, short one. So now we got our plant. We can even put it on a stem and add a little bit of shadows in the middle. While my leaf is wet, I can add some shadows, I can add some. Now I need to let it all dry completely. When we have a water drop, there is always a shadow underneath the water drop. So to paint that, I need to create darker mix. I will use phthalo green and I will add a bit of brown, Van Dyke brown, to make it more sage green looking, more neutral. So I just gather a place where I would like to place my water drop. With the tip of the brush, let's start with the big water drop. With the tip of the brush, I paint the shadow underneath this water drop. A little bit thinner parts on the top and a little bit thicker on the bottom. Then I just let it dry. Let's add another one, smaller one, for example. Unfinished circle, a little bit thicker on the bottom underneath the circle, a little and thinner lines on the top. And then the other one, let's add thinner line, a little bit pressure on your brush, and then thinner line. Now I use my same mix I had with a little bit of phthalo green, so it's a little bit brighter than the initial part, and I will add a bit of volume to the drop. I can remove extra water with my paper towel and leave some white spot on the top of the water drop. And same with the others. Always leave a bit of a white spot. Once it's all dry, you can use, for example, white titanium or white marker, white gouache, to add white glare on the top of your water drop. One dot on the top, and usually it has a reflection underneath, like this, next to the shadow. So let's repeat once again. Let's paint another water drop. Firstly, the shadow. With the shadow, we shape out the shape. They're not necessarily round. They can move a little bit down and have more oval shape, like this. And then some brightness, extra layer, and then white spot for the glare, and a little bit underneath. If you want to paint a lot of water drops, sometimes it's enough just to emphasize the shadow. So you paint shadows with unfinished circles, small ones, different maybe different sizes, slightly different shapes, and of course try to place them randomly. You just grab your white and add a very thin, a very gentle glare on the top of each. What's important, usually sun shines from one side. That means they all should have this glare spot on one side, looking at one direction. So we get more and more drops. Let's also think about the shape. For example, if this leaf is a bit more flat, so you can place big water drop line like this, and maybe another one next to that, just about this. Can be a big water drop right in the middle, and I already have some white spot here right in the paper, so I will use it as the glare and just place my water drop around. If you have bigger water drops areas, so it's nice to add an extra layer to add more volume. For the small ones it's not necessary. And always add a glare. Always add this white spot. And white spot should be not only on the top, but also on the bottom, like a little smiley face. And there's a final touch. I can add a bit more of extra thickness to the veins, so to work more on the leaf itself, if you like to, of course. I hope you liked this very easy way of painting water drops, and you can apply it to decorate any of your painting when you paint leaves, when you paint flowers. It's a very easy way to bring something special onto your painting. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I hope you had fun. I'm looking forward to know what would you like to paint next. And see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you so much for painting with me. I hope you enjoyed the process. I am looking forward for your feedback. What would you like to paint next? See you soon. Bye bye.